Okay, gotta make sure my hair is ready and I don't look like a abs. You know what? F it, we're getting into this. So welcome back to this week's episode. If you're a self-conscious person, then maybe this episode is for you because guess what? Last week I was at my local coffee shop where I thought I was a valued customer, only to get spit in the face by the barista. Not just one barista, but by the other. And this is not the first time that something, and I take it kind of lightly, but this time it was a little offensive. It was one of my self-conscious. It's one of the things that I was self-conscious about. And I walk into the coffee shop, and the first thing that this guy tells me is, "Are you sunburned from your forehead?" And I'm not sunburned. It's just that the lighting is different. Because look, I have this contour. Look, if you don't even need to, but if you just see, there's a little like bend. And the lighting here is like so it's not phenomenal, but it's just, the lighting is coming and it's coming like my childhood priest. Hopefully not, but just it's coming at me. And it just makes everything look a lot clearer. So you get to see the shadow, and there's an indentation here. And that's just the skull. And I looked into it, and it's just having a pronounced high brow, like a brow bone. And I'm at the coffee shop, and he says this, and I say, he's like, "What's wrong with your forehead? It looks sunburned." And I said, "It's not a sunburn. It's actually," and I said it to him like this. I said it just, but anyhow, he was telling me like all this stuff about the forehead, and I had to explain to him that it wasn't a sunburn, that it was actually just my natural contouring of my skull. So now I'm getting practically made fun of for the thing that I'm most insecure. And I remember like the other barista comes over much more gracefully, and he's like, "What's so funny? Like, what's the funny thing?" And I said, apparently, like, he was asking me why I'm sunburned. And essentially, I told him, he's making fun of my curvature of my skull. And I asked him, I was like, "Is it really that bad?" And I said, I told him, this is actually one of my biggest insecurities. So, to go back a year ago, that's when I stopped taking selfies, specifically because of the contouring of my skull. And there's no need to be precious on this episode. Not that we are on any, but I remember looking up like a weird bump in forehead bone, and it was pretty much a thing that other people had, and it's a protruding bone. It just means you have a really pronounced a brow bone. And essentially, when I clicked on images, a bunch of pictures of caveman popped up. And it doesn't make you feel good when you look when you're pretty much the thing that you look up and that you're being told you look similar to is practically a caveman. So that was like that cemented insecurity a little. But then I told him I continued to look it up and Google it, and I come across a guy who had like an interesting take where essentially he was saying, unlike some people, I don't need glasses. So if you could imagine where he's trying to get at, he's trying to say that I don't need glasses because his bump was so protruding forward that it would cover him from the shade from the sun above, and it would provide built-in shade. And I was thinking, I sent that video to my friend, and he's like, "That's a weird thing to boast about." And in that moment, that's when I really knew that there really was no coming back from this. So I do some more research. So there's I look like a caveman. There's the people think that it's a weird thing. The third thing was, how can you fix it? Which I was like, you can't fix it. Turns out you can. You can have surgery where I think they grind down the bone, and essentially it looks more like this as opposed to like this. And I wasn't gonna pay $5,000 for that. So in other words, I was stuck looking like a caveman, and I depending on how the lighting and how it's coming at me, it makes me look more like a caveman. So essentially, I am unevolved. I am stunted. I have not evolved at the same rate as all of you. I am a primate, and I guess I got to start going, "Oh, kid, I'm hungry." And welcome back to this week's episode of the Broken Kid Podcast. If the setup looks a little different, then it's because it is, and you're not hallucinating. But to get straight to the point, I don't like to ask for things, but I'm in a competition and it's for Halloween, and there's a link below. I'm gonna keep it pretty short and simple. All you have to do is click the link, and if you have a Facebook account, you can go ahead and just do a simple vote. It takes about 30 seconds. So maybe this is catering to the wrong people. I should be catering to your grandma or your aunts and uncles who do have Facebook. But if you do have it, go ahead and click the link below. And it's pretty much just a contest, a little contest where you could, win a few prizes, but it's for the face of Halloween. And I'm a big fan of Halloween, and if you would like to do that, go ahead and feel free to check out the profile. There's a few pictures up there. I want to upload more, but if you feel like it's beckoning you to simply just do a simple thing, I would greatly appreciate it. And that's all I'm asking. And if you don't want to, that's totally fine. But we're gonna go to the normal production in a few days where I'm gonna be uploading normal videos. And I just wanted to throw that opportunity out there. And to anybody who does vote, I appreciate it. And I appreciate your support. And I just want to say to have a good night. And I hope that things go well in your life. Thank you.